you don't want to sit down and have a conversation all of a sudden with the commissioner? Well, now you don't look so good. Collier looks even worse because we know she had a meeting with Cathy Engelbert to sit down like adults to discuss the situation. Adam Silver's like, oh, hold on. We're not going to kowtow, bow down, none of this to Collier.
Napheesa Collier didn't just cancel a meeting. She detonated a power struggle that could decide the WNBA's future.
Engelbert is going to be out, and she's going to be out very quickly.
We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
It's getting spooky for Cathy Engelbert in the house right now.
When Commissioner Kathy Engelbert went on stage denying every accusation and called out what she called false reports, Collier made her move and pulled the plug. Why did that one quote, just 5 words, convince her the talks were over? By the time Caitlin Clark and Brianna Stewart showed support, it was clear this wasn't just about officiating.
And she refused to meet with Cathy Engelbert, but you're going to go meet with Kamala Harris? But the commissioner of the National Basketball Association, Adam Silver, has now released a statement on this. Napheesa Collier is looking worse and worse in the situation, and Fee, you're not going to like what the commissioner's got to say.
It was about who really runs the league now. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. There's one line that flipped the whole WNBA upside down. A line that made Napheesa Collier drop negotiations and send a message the league couldn't ignore.
I saw nothing was changing. Coaches, winning and losing alike, were complaining about the same things over and over again. Whether I was going to get, annihilated for this or people were going to support me, I felt what I was doing was right. I felt like it needed to be said, and we weren't seeing a change that our leadership was trying to make. And I think I just got to the point where I was fed up.
For months, she'd been hinting at how players felt brushed off. Missed calls weren't getting review. Technicals seemed uneven, and whenever players tried raising those issues, they got a generic email from the league office instead of real talk. Collier didn't want to blow it up online. She kept saying the game needed teamwork on and off the court, but she was done with polished statements that meant nothing. So before the finals, she scheduled a private sit-down with Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. That meeting was supposed to smooth things out.
Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs.
Collier's plan was simple. Talk quietly, fix the tone, and rebuild trust. Engelbert's public style had always been businesslike, calm, and careful. But when she took the microphone at the finals presser and dismissed stories about player concerns as false, it hit differently.
I think what's most helpful is to focus on, I have been in touch with Napheesa, we've exchanged texts. There's a lot of inaccuracy out there through social media and all this reporting. Obviously, a lot of reporting, a lot of inaccuracy about what I said or what I didn't say. And I will tell you, I highly respect the players.
She didn't just deny tension, she erased it. For players who had just gone public about fairness and communication, that sounded like a door shutting in their faces. Caitlin Clark and Brianna Stewart didn't post angry rants, but their reactions online said enough. A few cryptic likes, a few supportive comments for Collier, and suddenly the league looked divided. Some backed Engelbert's authority, others backed Collier's courage. What made it sting more was that everything had been ready for a quiet resolution. Then that one phrase turned respect into rebellion. Hours later, Collier made her choice. She called off the meeting and told reporters she was done being polite. That moment didn't come from emotion, it came from exhaustion. One tone-deaf response on the WNBA's biggest stage rewrote the conversation, and the fallout wasn't just personal. It threatened to reshape how every player would deal with the league from here on out. After the canceled meeting, insiders said the relationship between players and the commissioner was beyond repair.
but it became too personal. And we're going to have to work through those issues.
But the real story is what that meant for the next CBA. That meeting wasn't just a talk. It sat right before the deadline for a new agreement. Every word between Napheesa Collier and Cathy Engelbert was supposed to set the tone for player benefits, salaries, and the league's future rules. As the Players Association vice president, Collier's presence wasn't symbolic. It represented the whole locker room. When she walked away, she didn't just cancel a meeting. She froze progress on everything that came with it.
But unfortunately, her being an owner of Unrivaled is now badly clouding the waters. Now you don't look so good at all. Now you look like you're unprofessional. People are like, nah, I don't trust her now. That's not changing. I did a video a couple of days ago where a hell of a lot of fans are jumping ship in support of her.
Engelbert's push for PR control made players nervous. The warnings about fines and selective answers to concerns felt more like corporate management than teamwork. After that, screenshots of players backing each other flooded social media. Brianna, Stewart, Eriko Gunbowl, and others amplified Collier's message without tagging the league. It wasn't rage, it was unity. Even Caitlin Clark's reaction gave it legitimacy. She said Collier made a lot of valid points.
That's honestly what I would say. I think there's, Fee said it all with what she said, and I think the points she made were very valid. I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels.
A line that echoed across headlines and brought a different kind of weight. Her name wasn't tied to drama. She became proof that even the league's youngest star could see the cracks forming. Meanwhile, Unrivaled, the off-season league Collier and Stewart started, suddenly looked less like a side hustle and more like a backup plan. Sponsors were ready, courts were booked, and now the idea of top players shifting their energy there didn't sound unrealistic anymore. Behind the scenes, whispers grew louder about NBA Commissioner Adam Silver possibly needing to step in. That's how broken things got. The fight stopped being about one meeting and started being about who actually holds power, the suits in New York or the women on the court. And if this tension keeps building into next season, the answer could reshape professional women's basketball forever. That canceled meeting wasn't the ending people thought it was. It sparked a new kind of pressure, one that could let the players take full control of their sport. The fallout distracted from the finals and turned the spotlight inward, a public relations mess the league created for itself. Now sponsors, fans, and even future deals may hinge on how the WNBA rebuilds trust. So here's the question: can the league fix the damage? Or does the future of women's basketball now belong to the players? Because this fight isn't only about leadership anymore. It's about legacy and power.